Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Ryan118, coming to you somewhere from the middle of the Mediterranean. I've pre-recorded this, I'm uploading it while I'm on holiday. Don't know what day of the week this is going up yet, so enjoy it while it's out. Sorry for the shortage of videos this week. Anyway, today I'm doing something a little bit different. Well, I've done a few FM experiments now. I'm doing another one. This one today was given to me by a friend, an idea given by a friend. You know who you are, so thank you for that idea. And today we're going to test out how Celtic would do if they kept all their best players who are still available in the world of football. The likes of Virgil van Dijk, Victor Wanyama, all those types of players. And we're going to see how Celtic would do with them still in the team. Another little twist added to it, we're going to see how they would do in England, because it's obvious how they're going to do in Scotland, right? They're going to win the league every single year. We'll see how they do in the cups, I suppose, if you were to do that, and we'd see how they get the Champions League. But I thought, why not look at it a bit more interesting, in a more interesting way, and see how they would do it in the English Premier League, to see if they could keep building to the point where they would become one of the big forces in English football. It's an FM, I'm not in charge, which means Brendan Rodgers will be allowed to develop and make signings along the way, which is just what we want, because if I was to do it in FIFA, it'd be the same team continuously throughout the seasons. So, we're going to head in with this team, we're going to head in FM now, I'm going to put it up on the screen, and I'm going to show you the players Celtic have available to them. Sorry if my face has been out of shot, by the way, I feel like it has been. Anyway, this is the players Celtic have available. They've got Virgil van Dijk in here, worth £27 million. How long can they hold on to these players as well is another issue you need to look at. Victor Wanyama's there, Moussa Dembele, John Guidetti, who we had on loan for a while, Fraser Forster, Lee Griffiths, Ki Sung-young, Scott Sinclair. A few other old players like Artur Boric, Patrick Roberts is back permanently. And then there's a few players in the under-23s, Craig Gordon's there and stuff like that. But they're the Biram Kayal, Joe Ledley there and there, the likes of them. And we're going to see how they do. I would add players like Adam Matthews, Kelvin Wilson, but they just wouldn't get into the team. There wouldn't be really a point. They'd be just sitting being reserves. So I decided not to add them. What we're going to do is we're going to go and do this sim to the end of every season for about 5 years, and we'll see how they get on, see how Brendan Rodgers developed the team, and see where they finished in the Premier League. So without any more time being wasted, we're going to head through the first season. We're going to simulate right through the first season and see how Celtic do in their first ever season in the English Premier League. So season 1 has ended. Time to see how things got on for Celtic in the Premier League. I'm hoping no relegation, because we're going to just keep going until they either get relegated or win the league. So let's find out. Celtic finished 15th. Not too bad in their first season, but they are dangling above relegation, to be honest with you. Only just survived, but they finished above the relegation zone by a couple of places. 9 wins, 11 draws, 18 losses. Brendan Rodgers did keep his job though. I'm guessing his expectation was to finish around there anyway. So if we quickly look at the players, see, go to transfers first. Did they make any changes? He made one signing in Rafik something, 18-year-old Frenchman, and 2 loan signings. The only player they sold permanently was actually Jack Aitchison to Arsenal, so obviously a big career ahead there for him, as he left in a deal that can go up to £2.9 million. As for best performing players, let's have a look. The players that played the most: Wanyama, Ki Sung-young. Wanyama actually got 10 goals from where I'm guessing would have been a deep midfield role, so that's not bad. Dembele scored 18, Guidetti got 14, Griffiths got 14, so bit of an alternate options between the three strikers. You know, they can really change it up. But as we've seen there, the best performing player week in, week out looked to be Virgil van Dijk, who had 51 appearances in total with a 7.45 rating. Now, how will Celtic build on that going into the second season? Trying to stay up again, I suppose. But I would like to know who they regularly played. Like, what was on their normal team? Here we go. This was it here. Forster in goals. Lustig, Van Dijk, Sviatchenko, Tierney, Ki Sung-young, Ledley, Wanyama, Montoya, who was one of the loans they brought in, Sinclair and Guidetti. Moussa Dembele did not go even on the bench for that game. I don't know if he's an international duty. That's how. It's not a bad team. First season, finished 15th. No bad. It takes some amount of time to sim through these seasons, honestly. You should admire my persistence. Anyway, second season has just finished. Time to see how Celtic done. They finished 15th last season, so they're looking to upgrade that. The question is, did they? We're going to try and hope... No, okay, they didn't. I just see the position there. Right, I need to go to the English Premier Division. There we go. 16th, so they actually fell down a spot, but I think they got more points this time. I think they got more points. They finished on 41, which isn't too bad. 12 wins, 5 draws and 21 losses. Not the worst season, at least they got more points, but once again just hovering above relegation, just hovering there. As for the transfers front of things, did they get rid of any big names? Eric Sviatchenko went to Hull, Stuart Armstrong went to Norwich. They lost a bunch of players on free transfer, and apart from that, it was just loans. As for the ins, it looks as though they made quite a number of signings actually. So Jordan Amavi came in, Bjorn Engels came in, Schmeimdach something. Montoya was brought in permanently after I think that was the guy they loaned out. It was. They brought him in permanently. They brought in Gary Cahill from Chelsea. Quite a number of signings. Quite a busy window. And they broke a few records, you know. That's £8 million up front, 13 million. That's big money for Celtic, spending 33 million altogether. Quickly look at who the best performing players were. 57 appearances for Van Dijk and Forster, so they were the top, the top amount of appearances in the team. As for goals, let's see, top scorer was John Guidetti, just followed by Dembele. Best playmaker probably was Montoya. And it's weird that Patrick Roberts really hasn't been getting a look in, despite the potential that he's got in this game. So it's quite weird to see that. There you go, 15 appearances, 11 goals for Walter Montoya overall. Pretty much the best player. Kieran Tierney was actually rated the highest this year. Now the question is, can they improve? Because they have improved points wise, not so much position. They've got a bigger amount of points. But can they? I think they have anyway, I hope they have. Can they do it again? And can they just get into that upper half? Right now I need to go and sit another 10 years to sim a season. Season 3 is over, and bad news. Brendan is gone. As you can see here in the available jobs, Brendan is no longer the Celtic manager. Mr. Rodgers is off. What does that mean for Celtic? It means they had their best season yet, finishing 11th, so they're close to becoming a top half side, getting 44 points, quite distant from the relegation zone this time. The question is, who's the manager? Brian McClare is the current Celtic manager. Brendan Rodgers was actually sacked after 2 years, just about 3 years in the job. When was he sacked? He was sacked around January time, so the 19th of January. Let's see where they were sitting back then. Let's see what the result was actually. 19th of January, there you go. The form was not looking great whatsoever. One thing I've actually forgot to check, and I've just realised it, how they've been doing in the cup competitions. I've not checked any year. So let's quickly go back and check that. Over the past few seasons, have not been. They were the runners up this year. There you go. Celtic got to the EFL Cup final this year in the third season. That's quite fitting. We don't need to check the EFL Cup then, because that's the best they've done, and that's what matters. They got to the EFL Cup final this year, in which where is the final? Let's have a look. EFL Cup final. They lost 2-0 quite easily to Liverpool's advantage there. They won. Quite simple, straightforward 2-0 win. In the FA Cup, how have they done in the FA Cups over the past few years? Not checked that either, right? They've not been runners-up or anything, that's what matters. But this season, the third season, was their best season. Brian McClare has came in as the temporary manager. He's just a caretaker, I believe, interim manager. So it looks as though they were getting someone new. On the transfer front of things this year, they spent quite a lot of money. Mateus Pereira came in, Johan Cabaye, Brendan Galloway, Demarai Gray. Quite a lot on the outside of things. I've seen big money. Kieran Tierney went up to Liverpool, or down to Liverpool, for quite a large sum, as you can see there. That's a big blow. Patrick Roberts also left. Jeez, that's Scott Brown went. Jesus, Cal McGregor left in a free transfer. Other big money moves. Christopher Ayer went to Swansea. They got rid of this guy. Spending 62 million, bringing in 62 million. They're definitely busy down in England. Quickly check who is the best performing players. Most appearances once again was Virgil van Dijk, who made 42 appearances. But top goal scorer Moussa Dembele had 16 goals. Don't know how many were in the Premier League. 15, so not bad at all. The highest rated player once again was actually Van Dijk, as he was in the first season. So nice to see that again. Consistency is key. Time to move on to season number 4. Can they get into the top half now? Right then, the 4th season has just passed. How did Celtic do? There's a dog barking, Jesus. Right, anyway, Celtic this time around finally got themselves into a top 10 position. Very nice to see. In the top half, comfortable now. It seems like as the years go on, they just get more and more comfortable as a Premier League side. If we quickly check the team then, John Kennedy got the Celtic job. Yep, John Kennedy was given the job, and my Xbox volume's on. He was given the job, and he's done quite well in his first season, as you can see. We'll quickly check the transfer history on the outside of things. They didn't really get rid of anyone important apart from Scott Sinclair and Lee Griffiths left. On free transfers, actual James Forrest ended up leaving the team. Neil Baton went as well, not so big there. And in the ins, they brought in Andrew Robertson from Hull, very good left back replacement for Kieran Tierney. John Flanagan was also brought in along with these guys here. Sanabria was in there amongst others, but a decent season. There's only one more to go, so how in the space of 5 years with hold on, I've not even checked the stats and other tournaments and stuff. Guidetti was up there with this guy for top scorer. Wanyama is still getting played, Van Dijk still getting played, Forster. These are all important players, bringing them back to Celtic. They've done fantastically fitting back into the team. As we quickly check, in the EFL Cup they got to the quarter final this time, then they were knocked out on penalties by the looks of things, sadly, by Derby. Sorry, they weren't knocked out. It just went scroll down. There we go. Knocked out in the semis, sadly. In the FA Cup, they were knocked out in the 5th round as well. So not too bad in the cup side of things. One more season to go. How will the lads do? Well then, last season, it's all wrapped up now. We are going to see how Celtic done the final season of this. It took fucking hours to sit through and sim every fucking season. So any support is appreciated on this video if you have enjoyed it. It has been slapped together a little bit. You'll notice it was kind of poor quality with Doug Spark and all that. It's a pre-recorded thing for when I'm on holiday. So anyway, how did Celtic do in their final season? Well, not their final season, the final season of us testing this. Let's see, Celtic finished 9th. So it's good. There's cunt shouting and everything. Lovely. Anyway, it's nice to see how they progressed. They progressed from being, 17th in the first season to now a top half side 9th. They were a ball head away, if you look there, from finishing in a European place. They were so close to finishing 7th in the table. They were only 3 points away. 18 wins, 4 draws, 16 losses. The best they have done so far, picking up 58 points. Fantastic stuff from Celtic. Let's see how they've done in the domestic competitions. Didn't do too well in the FA Cup. The EFL Cup. They got knocked out in the 3rd round by Tottenham. In the FA Cup, it's doing this glitch again where it doesn't let me see the full FA Cup final this year. And they were beaten by a 78th minute Angelo Ogbonna goal. Unlucky there for Celtic, but getting to the final is massive. If we quickly check the last season of transfers, they made some big signings here. Look at that. This is what it does when they're in England. Look at the players. This would be like real life. They'd be spending this sort of money if Celtic could get in England, and this is just proving what would happen if Celtic were in England. Ben Woodburn coming in, a massive signing. He had a very strong season by the looks of things, getting, well, not very strong, but 6 goals and 5 assists your first season in England is not bad. Matthias de Ligt, another massive signing, obviously a wonder kid in real life in that Ajax team. He came in, had 32 league appearances and 37 altogether, so massive. And some other signings, there you go, Mario Pasalic, who's been linked with us in real life at the current minute. Some big signings. Look at Vidan, that is not bad at all. On the outside of things, they did get rid of Virgil van Dijk, sadly. They got rid of Kouassi Abui, they got rid of Joe Ledley, Jozo Simunovic. Surprised van Dijk left, but it was only a matter of time before his performances were admired by other teams. So the top appearances of the season went to Fraser Forster once more and Victor Wanyama. Forster really just been a staple in the team for Celtic. And who was the top? Let's see. The top average rating was Matthias de Ligt. As I said, big signing on him. Top goal scorer Antonio Sanabria. John Guidetti had a very impressive term in these 5 years. If we quickly look at his career stats since returning to Celtic, 27 appearances, 11 goals, 26 appearances, 10 goals, 32, 7, 8, 13. Had a lot of decent seasons, to be honest with you. So he didn't have a bad return. So that's the team they ended up with. When you bring back all the former players that we've had over the years and you put them in England, and it just shows you what Celtic could potentially be in England in the future. They're spending £50 million on players and they're finishing the top half of the Premier League. That is only a taster of what could actually happen. It's only FM, who knows what would happen. But the players who stayed around, we see Forster there, we see Wanyama still there, Guidetti's there, Ki Sung Young's still there, and that's about it. They're the only players who actually remained who stayed at the squad. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this experiment. Sorry it was a bit thrown together. As I said, I'm not actually here, so I hope you enjoyed this. I won't be getting back to any comments, sadly. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.